Welcome to the IT Jobs series. In this video, we explore the role of a firmware engineer. Firmware engineers write software that directly controls hardware components. This is a specialized field that combines programming with deep hardware knowledge. If you're interested in working at the lowest levels of computer systems, this career might be perfect for you. Let's start with the basics. Firmware is permanent software stored in non-volatile memory, like flash or ROM chips on hardware devices. Think of it as the bridge between physical hardware and higher-level operating systems. Firmware provides direct, low-level control over CPU registers, memory, and hardware peripherals. Its performance critical because it needs to be fast and efficient, using minimal resources. Every electronic device you own, from your phone to your printer, runs firmware. Here are some practical examples of firmware in everyday devices. Smartphone bootloaders are firmware that initializes your phone's hardware before the operating system loads. Printer firmware controls the paper feed mechanism, the nozzles, and the precise positioning of the printhead. Vehicle engine control units, or ECUs, manage fuel injection timing, ignition spark, and emissions control. These are just a few examples of firmware you interact with daily. To become a firmware engineer, you need several key skills. First, programming knowledge in C and assembly languages is essential. Embedded C is a specialized version of C optimized for resource-constrained devices. You must understand real-time systems and how to write code that responds instantly. Hardware knowledge is equally important. You need to understand CPU architecture, memory management, and how microcontrollers work. You should be comfortable with debugging tools like GDB, JTAG, and SWD interfaces. Finally, understanding electronics fundamentals like oscilloscopes and signal analysis is valuable. The firmware development process follows a clear workflow. First, you design and architect the system, planning how hardware interfaces will work and how memory will be organized. Next, you write the actual code in C or assembly at the register level. Then comes compilation and linking, where you use a cross-compiler to translate your code into binary that runs on the target architecture. Finally, you debug and test on actual hardware using JTAG or SWD debugging interfaces to step through code and identify issues. Let's look at actual low-level code. Here's an example in C showing GPIO register control. To set a GPIO pin to output mode, you access the hardware register at a specific memory address and manipulate individual bits. Then, to set the pin high, you write to another register at a different address. Below that is an assembly language example showing an interrupt handler. When hardware interrupts occur, the processor saves registers onto the stack, calls the interrupt handling function, and then restores registers and returns from interrupt. This is the kind of direct hardware manipulation firmware engineers perform daily. Firmware engineers rely on specific tools for their work. GCC cross-compiler translates your C code into machine instructions for your target microcontroller. GDB debugger lets you step through code execution and inspect memory and register contents in real time. JTAG and SWD probes are hardware debugging interfaces that connect your computer to the microcontroller for live debugging. An oscilloscope is essential for analyzing electrical signals and timing on hardware pins. IDEs like STM32Cube IDE or MPLAB provide integrated environments with built-in peripheral configuration tools. Finally, HAL, or hardware abstraction, layer libraries provide pre-built functions for accessing hardware peripherals. Firmware engineering presents several significant challenges. Hardware variability is a major one. Different microcontrollers have completely different register layouts and memory architectures, so code written for one chip won't work on another without substantial changes. Unlike application programming, there's no operating system safety net. One bug in firmware can crash the entire device permanently. Timing constraints are critical. Real-time systems demand precise execution timing with no delays allowed. Finally, debugging firmware is difficult. You have limited tools and visibility into what's happening on the hardware, making problem-solving more complex than regular software development. Firmware engineering is financially rewarding. Entry-level firmware engineers with 0 to 3 years of experience typically earn between $60,000 and $90,000 annually. Mid-level engineers with 3 to 7 years of experience earn between $100,000 and $150,000. Senior engineers with over 7 years of experience, who design systems and mentor teams, earn $150,000 to $200,000 or more. Specialized areas like Internet of Things, automotive systems, aerospace, and medical devices command premiums of 15 to 30% above these ranges. The market demand for firmware engineers is very high and growing steadily due to the explosion of connected devices and autonomous systems. Ready to start your firmware engineering journey? First, learn the fundamentals of C programming, digital electronics, and CPU architecture. These form the foundation for everything you'll do. Next, choose a microcontroller platform to learn on. Arduino, STM32, and ARM Cortex-M boards are excellent starting points because they have large communities and plenty of learning resources. Then build practical projects. Start with simple ones like blinking LEDs and reading sensors, then progress to motor control and communication protocols. Finally, gain real-world experience through internships in embedded systems, Internet of Things, or automotive companies. Firmware engineering powers the devices that shape our world. It's a high-impact, high-demand, and highly rewarding career path.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.